Amazing parenting. We empower parents to positively impact their children.
Hello parents, Grace here with Amazing Parenting. How are you doing today? How's your children? How's your family? I'm sure everything is going perfectly. But just in case it's not, on this channel, you will see and find over 200 videos on parenting, whether your child is a baby, a teenager, a toddler, a young adult, in university, left home. You will find something on this channel that will help you build that rich, stronger bond with your child. So go ahead, if you haven't already, subscribe and share these videos. It's free to subscribe. You know, how many things that you get for free that can possibly help you and enhance your relationship with you and your children. So share these videos with at least one other parent. Leave a comment below. Maybe there's a particular subject you want me to cover that in the 200 videos I have not yet covered. Leave a comment below and I'll endeavor to do a video on that particular subject. Okay? So last time we were talking about gratitude in our children. So this is part 2. How, as parents, can we ensure that our children are grateful for what they have and for what we've given them and for things in life? How can we make our children more grateful? Because like I said before, it's like children are just becoming or behaving like they're entitled. Well, I should have this. My parents should bring me that. I should have that. And they're not being grateful for what they have. And I'm saying, is it because parents are not teaching their children to be grateful? Or on the other hand, is it just children just ignoring or not taking on board the seriousness or the importance of being grateful? So this is part 2 of how can we as parents ensure that our children are grateful for what they have and for things that are around them. So we continue with encourage giving and helping. If your children have siblings, help them help each other. It's so important that siblings help each other. If you've got older siblings, your children have older siblings and younger siblings, have those older siblings help out the younger siblings, whether it's tying their shoelaces, reading them a story, holding their hand across the road. Help the older siblings help their younger siblings and help the younger siblings to be grateful, to be thankful. Help the older siblings be thankful and grateful that they've got younger siblings that they can interact with and learn from as well. Teach children to be grateful for each other, for their sister, for their brother, for their baby sister, for their older brother. Teach children to be grateful for having siblings. So that's important that our children recognize that they, help each other. They're thankful when they share their toys. They're saying thank you. They're being grateful. They're interacting with each other. They're, sharing food. Maybe the older sibling is making a sandwich for the younger sibling. That grateful, them being grateful is being heard, being recognized between siblings. Okay? Reflect after disappointment. Sometimes you might think there's nothing to be grateful for. I'm disappointed. So as a parent, you need to, reword that and say something like, what can you be grateful with what's happened? What did you learn? You didn't get the job, or you didn't pass the exam, or you fell out with your friend. What did you learn? What can you be grateful for in that situation? What can you be thankful for in that disappointment? It sounds almost like I'm disappointed. What am I going to be thankful for? But we have to help children understand that when we're thankful for disappointments, it brings balance. It helps them understand that I may not always achieve the thing I'm using my effort for, but along the way, what did I learn? What am I thankful for that I learned along the way? So you need to help your children look at disappointments differently, because that helps bring balance. So what did they learn? What are they grateful for in the process? Not necessarily, I'm happy that I didn't get the job, or I'm happy that, I failed at that. Let's not talk about being happy about the disappointment, but it's being grateful for what they learned through the process of the disappointment. Okay? Limit over indulgence. I think that's one of the main reasons today children are not grateful, because we sometimes overindulge. It's not the child's birthday. It's not Christmas. They haven't done anything to do anything, but yet they're getting all these toys, all this money, all this, overindulgence. And I understand why some parents do this, because sometimes when parents were growing up, they didn't have anything. They came from a very poor, underprivileged background. So they want to make sure their children don't face, what they face, what they went through as a child. So they overindulge their child. So at one hand, we understand why that happens. But on the other hand, we need to be mindful as parents. We need to be mindful, because what kind of child are we raising if we are giving them everything and anything at all times? We need to be mindful. So let's not overindulge our children simply because we maybe had a poor background, or we never had toys when we were growing up, or we were, abused growing up. So to overcompensate for our children not never going through that, we indulge them, overindulge them. So we need to be really mindful that if that's you didn't have a good upbringing, how are you balancing that out with your own children? So let's not be overindulgent. Okay, use stories to teach gratitude. Like we said some previous times before, talking about storytelling, you can use stories to teach gratitude. Like we teach stories, about children lying, and we tell them the story about the boy that, cried wolf. We can teach our children gratitude by telling them stories. I won't go too much into that because we've done a whole couple videos on storytelling, but use storytelling to teach children gratitude. And then lastly, express gratitude for your child. Teach your child to be appreciative of themselves, and teach your child to be grateful for you. You might be a single parent, you might be a parent, two parent household. Teach your children to be grateful for you as a parent, for you as their mum, for you as their dad. Teach your children gratitude within themselves. Get them to look at themselves and what are they grateful for. Get them to verbalize, to name what they are grateful for. It may sound simple, but when we begin to help our children be grateful for the things around them, to be grateful for what they have, it builds that mentality of, I need to be grateful towards people. I need to be thankful for what I have. I might not have everything that I want right now. I'm still attaining to certain things, but I'm grateful for what I have. I'm grateful for what my parents have provided. And when we go back to the storytelling, you may have not had certain things growing up, but look at what your parents have been able to provide for you. So teach your children, to be grateful for what they have, because they also may know of, friends or other family members that don't have as much as them. But you're teaching them how to be grateful for what they have. And even if it's the other way around, where they haven't got as much as what their friends may have, but they're grateful for what they have. Because no matter how little you have, you can always have less. It can always be less than what you've already got. So we need to teach our children to be grateful for what they have, to be grateful for who they are, and to be grateful for who their parents are and what their parents are able to bring into their lives for them. So let's really teach our children gratitude by verbalizing our gratitude, by being vocal, helping them be vocal about being grateful, about simple, small things around their lives. So let's go ahead and put these into practice. So let's end there. Thank you for watching. I'm so grateful for all the likes, all the clicks that we get. I am so grateful. It's free to come onto Amazing Parenting, onto our website, onto this channel. It's free. It's free to subscribe. It's free to share. So please go ahead and share and like and leave comments below. And remember, All parents can be great parents. It is a journey, it's a process, and we will get there. God bless you.
Amazing parenting. We empower parents to positively impact their children.